Hi everyone, it's Dave, and I just wanted to do a really quick video on actually creating a set list. So I'm in the process of learning a new song. I just started learning this yesterday. It's Carry On My Wayward Son, and one of the things that I need to do is I need to perform this. So I need to go through the process of making the sounds and that sort of thing. So I started working on an organ sound. It's not really close. I mean, it's okay. But what I wanted to do was go through the process of showing you how I would put that into a set list and the premise behind the set list. So first things first, I'm going to open up a brand new set list. And so typically your set list will look something like this. You might see the other one that's colorful depending on the version of the keyboard you have and so on. But the whole idea behind the set list is that it allows you to place things into these blocks. So they can be a program, a combi, or a song. And in this case, most of the sounds that I'm using are individual sounds, so I'm going to put them as programs for now. One of the other things that I also have set up is this foot pedal. So this Boss foot pedal, it can be any foot pedal really. I like this one just because it's heavy duty. And actually it has sliders, so you can like interlock it with other foot pedals if you wanted to have multiple sets of them. The whole premise is that I have this set up to step through all of my sounds. So in a single given night, I might go through, 100 different sounds or 200 different sounds. So as I need them, I'll just step through them. And so I'll put the set list with one song in one color and then another song in another color. Just to give you an example, one of the bands that I'm in, we just finished not that long ago doing a couple of shows here in Ontario. So for example, this song's called Critical Mass, and I leave notes to myself, so, what does it sound like, right? And then I can start stepping through the sounds. So I'll go, through the different sounds, and as I go through the sounds, through the whole song, I get to, the next, so I have one of these songs, and then I had a slightly different color to let me know that that's a solo. Then I've got another one, another song, and then another song, and so on. So I can just step through them. And to set that up, I believe that's under global, under, I want to say controllers. Yeah, there we go. So under the global panel, under controllers, you can say foot switch assign, and I said program up. That way, no matter where I'm at, it's basically the same as clicking the wheel to the right or clockwise. So when I go to program mode, I can step through them. And when I go into combi mode, I can step through them. When I go to my set list mode, I can step through them. So no matter where I'm at, I'm always stepping up to the next sound. So Carry On My Wayward Son starts off with an organ sound. So I'm going to go into the edit page. And let me see. So I can tap here, which is if I know the exact number, which I don't. I think it's like something like, UUEE 0 something, I don't know. So instead I'm going to go to keyboard. I'm going to choose organ, and I think I might have it saved in here somewhere. There, Carry On. So I've got my Carry On My Wayward Son organ. So what I'll do is I might do things like change the color. So I might choose indigo as this color. And I might change things like the slot name. So I might call this Carry On Open. And I might have a reference to things like notes. So what I can do is I can edit the comment and say, I want to know, okay, so it goes, it's an A, so it starts off. So it goes, well, let's call, just as a reminder for myself, I might say hits. So I'm going to say, okay, these are the chords that I have to play when I do the hits, because I remember the melody in the left hand where it goes. So I'm going to remember, so it's hits, so I'm going to hit the C, I'm going to hit the D, and then I hit G, and then D again. So those are the hits. Now when I go to play, you'll notice it has the text up here. So maybe a question that you might have is, well, how do I get this text larger? Well, what I can do is under font, I can choose how big I want the font to be. Now when I hit play, you'll notice it's a little bit easier to read. Well, maybe I don't need this whole page full. Maybe notes are a little bit more important than how many panels are currently showing up. So one of the ways that you can change this, maybe it's under here. Oh, it's right up at the top here where it says 8 slots, 4 slots. So you can choose how many slots it's going to show you. And for me, my preference is actually 8 slots. I don't necessarily need to see everything. Like, I don't need to see that far in advance. I really only want to see the next sound coming unless I don't know what it is. So what I can do is I can make my font even larger or keep more notes there. So under my comment. So these are my hits. And I might go to the next line. And then I might have something else that's relevant. So let me see. How does it go? And then it goes... There's a certain point where it goes... Okay, so I might say, I might have the structure. So I might have verse twice, something like that. And then I might say, remember... There. So I have a note for myself. So remember the hits, so it goes... Okay, so I remember the hits in my right hand, and then I have to remember at some point there's this A minor thing. Right, so it does that thing. Okay, so far so good. I'm going to save it. And I'm going to write this setlist 10, so I'm going to... carry on. I mean, I might name the whole set list something different, but for now, there. So the next thing is there's a tiny piano sound, and where it goes something like... I don't know if I'm playing it right. I'm just, like I say, I only started listening to it yesterday. I haven't actually learned a whole lot other than maybe the keyboard solo. So I'm going to keep the color the same. So I'll go back into edit mode. I'm going to keep the color the same. So I know for me it's the same song. And then I might give it a thing. So this is A minor piano. And I might leave notes to myself again. So this is the A minor, to D minor. Then I might say so hear the voices, and that's a cue for me to go back to the so on. So good enough. So let's say I've got the piano. Now I might not like this piano sound because I noticed the one in the actual album is pretty plinky. It's a little thin sounding. So I might choose the bright piano and see if that works. So okay, good enough. And then later goes back to an organ sound. So I'm going to choose that organ sound again. I think it was here maybe. Yeah. So got my organ sound. I'm going to change. I don't need to do the comment. I'm going to edit the color. There. And so this is riff. And what it goes. Actually, it comes in before that. It does that again. Okay, so riff in A, good. Okay, so the basics are here. So I'm going to write my set list. Good enough. The basics are here, in that all I'm doing is creating these based off of programs. It works the same way with a combi. It's just when you step from one to the next one, it jumps into combi mode right away instead of staying in program mode. Some common questions are, well, how does this cut, copy, paste, and insert work? So I'll describe that very quickly. So cut will remove something entirely. So let me mess with another set list that I've worked on before just to give you an idea of what this looks like. Okay. So here I've got some sounds. Cut will remove it entirely, and notice how it shifts everything to the left. So it takes all of them and just kind of shifts them. So this one goes here, this one goes here, this one goes back up here, and so on. Now notice at the bottom it shows that it's cut. So it's currently in our what's called the Clipboard, which is your temporary storage for memory. And I could say paste. Now paste will paste it on top of what you've already got. If you say insert, let me go here. Insert actually inserts it. So if I were to copy this one and I wanted to go insert, insert will insert it before where you've selected. So if I select, like let's say I wanted it to go between these two, I could say insert, and notice it pushes everything forward. So copy makes a copy of it. Cut will remove it from its current section. Paste will paste it on top of that. And insert will insert it before what you've selected. So if I select this one and I go insert, it's going to insert it here and push everything to the right of it. So that's just a really quick overview of using set list mode. Nothing too special in here. And when you've made your changes, make sure you save. There is a question about the legacy slot style, and the legacy slot style just means it doesn't have the colors. I'm sure there's probably another difference as well. I don't know what it is though. Anyway, oh yeah, one minor last thing that I wanted to talk about. The other huge thing about set list mode that I find really useful is, let's say you've got your set list and you play shows on a regular basis. Well, set list mode also has a graphic EQ. So this graphic EQ allows you to adjust the EQ for the set list you're in. Meaning, just as an example, let's say you're in a bar and the bar's kind of small, and there's a lot of bass traps, so everything is really bass heavy, and you want to get away from that. What you can do is you can actually EQ yourself. If you don't have a front of house person that can do this for you, you can actually EQ your keyboard to sound better for that venue for just this set list. So you'll notice this set list now has an EQ that's set up this way. Maybe you're playing a lot of heavy music and you need that low end to be removed. Or maybe you're doing something with a lot of vocals, right? So there's a lot of vocals and you want to remove between, this 1, 2, and 4K range to make space for the vocals. You might bring those down just slightly. There. So now we've made a little bit of a dip just for to sit a little bit better in the mix. Now again, typically the person who's handling your mixing front of house should be handling this, but this is really great, especially if you want to tone or change the tone of the overall sound of everything in the set list. So this is a really great way to be able to do that. Anyway, as usual, if you have any comments or questions, please feel free to let me know in the comments below, and thanks for watching.